Hi friends, Delphia here, and in this season of social distancing, it means so much to me to know that we can still find ways to connect. So, thank you for watching. It's been a surreal, strange, challenging, and at times overwhelming and scary few weeks, and it's affecting all of us in many different ways. For some, life continues at a somewhat normal pace. For others, their worlds may be turned upside down at the moment. Wherever you are in that spectrum, whatever you may be experiencing or feeling, know that you're not alone, and that whatever the outcome, we're all in this together. As a full-time musician, I can tell you that personally, I've lost a tremendous amount of work, and the next few weeks and months will be a very trying time for me. But what do I do when life presents me with feelings to work through? Well, I funnel it into my work. This week, I could use some joy. I could use some hope and positivity. And if you're like me and want some good vibes too, in this video, we'll explore some tips, tricks, and exercises to trigger positive emotions in an episode I'm calling, Come On, Get Happy. And let me just say, this is not to negate any of the challenges or struggles that we as a nation and as a world are facing at the moment. This is just meant to be a bright spot and bring some light and joy into your life right now. So I hope in some small way, this video helps. Our first trick for feeling happy is to smile. That's it. Just smile. There have been numerous scientific studies surrounding this phenomenon, beginning in the Victorian era, all the way up through the 1960s and 70s, and it's strange but true. Smiling to feel happy is based in the as-if principle, which states that behaving as if you're experiencing a certain emotion triggers that same emotion. Experts suggest using this quick mood booster before you answer the phone or walk into a meeting. As a singer, this is incredibly helpful when trying to convey an emotion in a song. So give it a try. At worst, it does nothing, and at best, it puts you in a better mood. This next tip is another one I like to use, especially as a performer and public speaker. It's called power posing. Again, this works under the as-if principle, where physically behaving as if you're experiencing a certain emotion can trigger that same emotion. Studies have shown that when people perform these power poses, they feel more confident and they have lower levels of cortisol, which is the chemical associated with stress. The pose I like to do just before a performance is called the Wonder Woman pose, and it looks like just how it sounds. If you're standing, place your feet flat on the floor, put your hands on your hips, push your shoulders back and chest forward, and look toward the ceiling. Hold this for about 10 seconds. If you're sitting at your desk, you can still power pose there too. Lean back, interlock your fingers behind your head, and look up. Use these poses before you start an important conversation, or send an important email, or whenever you need a power pick-me-up. Many of the tips in this video stem from something called the as-if principle, which again states that behaving as if you're experiencing a certain emotion can trigger that same emotion. If you need to feel motivated or determined, experts suggest this tip, tensing your muscles. This one is similar to power posing in that the action of the body is influencing the chemicals in the brain. You can contract your bicep, grip a pen in your hand, or simply make a fist. The idea is that muscle tension activates some of the same chemical responses in the brain designed for strenuous activity. Much like Olympic runners ready themselves at the starting line to spring into action, you'll be ready to spring into the next phase of whatever task you need to complete. So what we're finding is that there are a multitude of ways to trigger positive emotions, all by having our bodies help influence our minds. Again, all of this stemming from the as-if principle, that idea that simply acting in a certain manner triggers the emotions normally associated with that action. Want to feel happy? Smile. Want to feel confident? Stand like a superhero. Want to feel determined? Tense your muscles. Say we want to feel safe or secure. like those feelings we get at the holidays, or when we eat grandma's cookies, or when we snuggle with our dog? Well, friends, to feel warm and cozy, we need to get warm and cozy. And yes, there's actually science to support this one too. The idea is that having a warm beverage and curling up in a soft blanket releases endorphins, dopamine, and other feel-good chemicals. It also leads to a general feeling of friendliness and relaxation, which in turn makes our interactions with others warmer too. So the next time you're at home and need a mood boost, pop a kettle of water on the stove, put on your favorite fuzzy slippers, and in a few minutes, you can sink into a big blanket of joy with that mug of your favorite beverage. Cheers. And in a similar vein, did you know that your furniture can affect your mood? Yes, friends, even something like the chair you're sitting in can influence your mood. The idea is if you're sitting on a hard or uncomfortable chair, your body is more likely to be tense, which in turn is more likely to make you uneasy or irritable. If you're at work and sitting on, say, a wooden chair, you may find yourself more easily frustrated, or you may find it more difficult to stay focused on the task at hand. You may also find your interactions with others to be more abrupt or tense, which perpetuates more negative feelings. So, what can you do? Well, if you can, get comfy. Create a workspace or a home space that feels comfortable, that promotes a sense of ease and well-being. It's simple. Hard furniture creates hard behavior, while soft, comfortable spaces allow you to operate more productively and ultimately more positively. Here's another tip. If you want to get happy, get out. Now, of course, when I say get out, I mean doing so in a way that adheres to all safety, quarantine, or self-isolation guidelines. And getting out doesn't necessarily mean leaving your home. It just means getting out of your normal routine. For some of us, not much feels normal right now, and in some ways, that can be a good thing. I call this the shiny and new principle. Sometimes taking on a new project, a new task, or a new hobby can inject new energy into our lives, creating a sense of excitement, of fun, of joy. Is there something you always wanted to learn? Then learn it. A food you always wanted to try? Then try it. Do things that seem out of the norm for you to create a rush of adrenaline, which will in turn boost your mood. And you may be inspired to try even more new things in the future. If you're at home for the next few weeks, think of all the new things you can try, do, learn, and explore. How much richer and more joyful your life can be during this time. So get out there safely and try, do, learn, and explore it. Friends, that's going to do it for me. I want to thank you for tuning in. May you be all the happier for it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like. And if you'd like to enjoy more content from me, be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the little notification icon if you want to stay up to date with when new videos are posted. If you've got suggestions for topics you'd like discussed on this channel, please feel free to drop me a line at delphia@delphia.live. That's DELPHIA@DELPHIA.live. I'm Delphia, and thanks for watching.